Hello and welcome to Quartz Like Your Car Brochure channel, and in today's episode, the Austin Allegro 2. Hello and welcome back. Now if you're new to Quartz Like, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube, looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s and sometimes beyond those years as well. So if you're interested in cars, car brochures, looking back at cars gone by, please do consider subscribing. Anyway, back to today's episode. Yes, this rather lovely brochure for the Austin Allegro 2. This is a brochure that we looked at over 2 years ago now. And it didn't do very well, and it's a really nice brochure, so I'm not sure why, but let's throw that on the board and have another look at it. So here it is, today's brochure. Nice British Leyland plug hole of doom there, and the Austin Allegro 2, 1517-50 models. Another of those models that was harshly criticised, a bit like the Morris Marina we looked at last week. The Austin Allegro was in that same group of cars that really harshly criticised, and I always quite liked them really. I even really quite liked the design of them. I know it wasn't the original design that it was going to do for various different reasons, and it became a little bit bloated, but I actually liked the design it actually turned into. I like that sort of fat look, I guess, but I do like it. I think it's a good looking car, in my opinion anyway, and obviously comment if you agree or disagree with anything. I just appreciate everyone's comment. But we'll turn to the back of the page. I'll show you the date. So you often get various different numbers on the backs of brochures. This one says 176, so that's going to refer to January 1976. And just turning back again, so the Allegro 2 actually ran from 75 to 79, so that just shows you this is quite early on for this new Allegro 2, which was launched in time for the London Motor Show in October 1975. Same body shell, but featuring a new grille, reversing lights. Most models had some interior changes to increase the rear seat room, so they just played around and improved it slowly. And of course, at this time we've got round steering wheels. There's always that thing, big criticism for that Quartic steering wheel. Well, to be honest with you, more Allegros had the normal round steering wheel than that Quartic steering wheel. Always very criticised, but if you look at some more modern cars, they don't have a round steering wheel either, so perhaps it was just ahead of its time. Let's zoom in a bit further on the picture. And like I say, I always liked the front end of it, and it became this more bloated design due to the engine they had to use. Always some compromise, isn't there, at the time for these British cars. These sort of fog or driving lights look like they've been tacked on an afterthought to show you this is quite a high spec model. Even looks like it's got a matching vinyl roof. Anyway, let's open the brochure and have a look inside. Okay, so when we open the brochure we find that it's going to introduce the models, starting with this lowly 1500 Super. We get some really nice images. That's one reason I've revisited this brochure really, because the imaging is actually very nice, very well bit of photography. We'll start with the text though. Probably have a look at the seats, then come back to this really nice image. So it tells us a new kind of family motoring. New Allegro is here, and with it a whole new concept in family motoring, luxury with economy. The Allegro has all the sleek good looks and luxury specification of many a more expensive car. But what really counts is the advanced engineering concealed beneath that trimly elegant exterior. And the latest Allegro has much to offer. Just look through the list of features. There's no extra charge for the fuel conserving fifth gear ratio, for instance, or the servo assistance to the disc drum brakes, the unique hydrogas suspension, the safety steering column. Like all those extras, they're built in part of the whole economical package. Allegro 2, suddenly family motoring has moved into the luxury class. Now we have a peek on the interior, and it is a really nice looking interior, isn't it, for this 1500 Super. We've got no head restraints, but we can see there's a little bit of a place to put them in there. Overall not bad looking, but things that stand out for me for the Allegro is we've got a 5-speed gearbox, mid-70s. That's very forward thinking, isn't it? If we move the camera down, it does give us a list of features, so let's have a look at those. So features: a 5-speed gearbox, hydrogas suspension, front wheel drive, 15 cubic foot of boot space, alternator, electric washers, 2-speed wipers, flick wipe, dipping interior mirror, external door mirror, electric cooling fan, fresh floor ventilation, hazard warning lamps, ashtrays front and rear, radial ply tyres, underbody protection, anti-burst locks, child safety catches on rear doors, safety steering column lock, recessed door handles, coat hooks, 2-speed heater, disc drum brakes with servo, front seats slide mounted with full width release lever, individual front reclining seats, rear seat centre armrest, individual fuel temp gauges, parcel shelf front and rear, hand brake grip, heated rear window, armrests, door pulls, fitted carpets, interior bonnet release, full depth door trim, cigar lighter, twin coach lines, twin horns, glove box, sill protection, reversing lamps, vanity mirror, velour seat trim facings. Nice. Lovely little image. Like I say, I think the photography is really nice in this brochure. They're very, you could know they were Allegro trims without even seeing the car. In this lovely shade of red. Notice we don't have those extra lights on this model. Interesting grille. Many different grills they actually used for the Allegro over the years. Overall, like I say, I really like these. Just looks like we've got one mirror on the door there. Scene, bit of a 70s scout camp out, I guess. Certainly a very 70s looking scene there with the fashions. But let's move on. We can move on further. So this is the Allegro 2 1500 Special. So we can see the fog lights come into play now. What a wonderful image. Very 70s colour. And then we've got the vinyl roof as well. So I think the Allegros were pretty high spec models really. If you moved up the range, they soon really started throwing things on there. Let's have a look at the text and we'll come back to these images. And nice to see some headrests there as well. So on the Allegro 2 1500 Special, extra features for added luxury. This is the Allegro for a little business and a lot of pleasure. It's the right choice for the executive who needs a car versatile enough to handle his family motoring as safely, economically and efficiently as it deals with the business driving. The Allegro 2 1500 Special is a special car in so many ways. Hydrogas suspension combined with front wheel drive and radial ply tyres give you the road gripping tenacity of a touring car with the smooth quiet ride of a limousine. The 1485cc engine and 5-speed gearbox provide all the flexibility you need to handle today's traffic conditions. Servo-assisted disc drum brakes give all important stopping power, and that long list of standard equipment includes features like individually reclining front seats, full carpeting I should say, a 2-speed heater, all to make every mile as comfortable as possible. The Allegro 2 1500 Special, it's very special indeed. So a little bit of a peek at that interior. Yeah, I promise you that's a round steering wheel. It tells us here both the luxurious front seats have cushioned head restraints and are faced in rich velour. They do look quite nice actually. And if I move down It's kind of like promoting these. We find out these are fog lamps here and a little bit of a clock. At the side it tells us for safer driving in poor visibility, twin fog lamps are built in below the protective front bumper, and a handsome electric clock is a feature of the smart centre console. There's no doubt about it, these fog lamps do look like they're kind of like a non-original part. You can see all the screws in there. Not sure how I feel about the look of those, but certainly it's nice to have some fog lamps for sure. And unfortunately, rather than saying this just has these extra features, it goes through all the features again. So we'll just quickly go through it. So 5-speed gearbox, hydrogas suspension, front wheel drive, 15-foot cubed boot space, alternator, electric washers, 2-speed wipers, flick wipe, twin exterior door mirrors, electric cooling fan, fresh floor ventilation, hazard warning lamps, ashtray front and rear, radial ply tyres, underbody protection, anti-burst locks, child safety catches on rear doors, safety steering column lock, recessed door handles, coat hooks, 2-speed heater, disc drum brakes with servo, front seats slide mounted with full width release lever, individual front reclining seats, individual fuel temp gauges, driver's parcel shelf, hand brake grip, heated rear window, armrest, door pulls, full carpeting, interior bonnet release, full depth door trim, cigar lighter, triple corks line, twin horns, velour seat facings. You can't beat a bit of velour, can you? Head restraints, black panel on boot lid. Oh, nice. Padded and trimmed rear parcel shelf, centre console, clock, glove box, sill protectors, twin fog lamps, aluminium tread strips, vanity mirror, dipping interior mirror, carpeting boot, boot lamp, rear seat centre armrests, vinyl roof, stitched handbrake gate and reversing lamps. So for 76, actually that's a lot of equipment. And there it is in all its glorious browny orange. Looks very 70s, vinyl roof on there, those fog lamps that we keep going on about, and twin door mirrors, one on each side, all of the luxury. And actually I quite like the special. Often car manufacturers use the word special, and they're very often quite lowly models and not really very special at all, but I think I would be happy with this special. I think I'd rather have a 1750 though, so let's move on. And here we go, the Allegro 1750 HL. Now we're getting a little bit nice, dare I say. Metallic blue. Even metallic blue 76 probably looks quite different and quite forward thinking, but not those nice wheel trims though. I quite like those wheel trims. They've been dropped for this now, again a bit sportier. HL often stood for high line, high luxury, higher luxury, possibly high line I might go for here, but various different manufacturers used to change around what HL used to stand for, but certainly we're going very much up market. The Allegro that's top of its class. Let's have a look to see what it's got to say for itself. If you're in the market for this kind of vehicle, we think you'll be impressed by the Allegro 2 1750 HL. It can only be said quite simply that this is a true luxury motor car, offering a combination of technical sophistication, comfort and fast economical performance that few comparable cars can match at the price. This superb Allegro really does offer amazing value for money, as a glance at the long list of features will tell, but only a thorough test drive will let you get to know how right and effortless it feels on the road, and only by a longer acquaintance will you grow to appreciate those small but important details. The comprehensive easy read instrumentation, the controls and switches that fall so natural to hand, the total quiet luxury of this ultimate Allegro, Drive one soon. You owe it to yourself. Glimpse on the inside. I do like this colour combination actually. I like the vinyl roof. I like that metallic blue and the blue interior. Just really suits it. And then moving down to the dash. Always nice to have a look at a proper dash picture. We have more of that blue, and nice to see how it's broken up with bits of black on there as well. I think it's a nice looking interior. We can see the glaringly obvious fact that it doesn't have a radio though, even on this high spec model. At the side there it tells us the spacious interior is complete with full luxury trim and front seat head restraints, standard equipment for long distance comfort and safety. Full instrumentation includes a speedometer, tachometer, fuel and water temperature gauges. So yeah, it's going to continue in the same vein of telling you all the features, even though we already know some of these are standard, and just throwing the odd extra bits in there that this has got extra on it, I guess to make you feel you gain more than what you are when you're considering the top model maybe. But anyway, 5-speed gearbox, twin carburetor engine, hydrogas suspension, front wheel drive, 15 cubic foot of boot space, alternator, electric washers, 2-speed wipers, flick wipe, twin exterior door mirrors, electric cooling fan, fresh floor ventilation, hazard warning lamps, ashtray front and rear, radial ply tyres, underbody protection, anti-burst locks, child safety catch on rear doors, coat hooks, safety steering column, a steering column lock, recessed door handles, disc drum brakes with servo, 2-speed heater, front seats slide mounted with full width release lever, individual front reclining seats, individual fuel, temp gauges, tachometer, cigar lighter, driver's parcel shelf, handbrake grip, heated rear window, armrests, door pulls, full carpeting, interior bonnet release, full depth door trim, body side mouldings, twin horns, velour seat trim facings, sports styled road wheel trims, padded and trimmed rear parcel shelf, centre console, clock, glove box, vanity mirror, sill protectors, aluminium tread strips, dipping interior mirror, carpeting in boot, boot lamp, rear seat centre armrests, vinyl roof, reversing lamps, stitched handbrake gaiter, head restraints, black panel on boot lid, twin fog lamps and a tinted window glass. Nice. And there it is. Overall, a nice looking car in my opinion. Like I say, I do like this sort of fat shape that it turned into, even though that wasn't the design that the designer was going for originally. Still, I think it's a great looking car overall, and obviously that's just my opinion, and no issues whatsoever if someone says this is a horrendous looking thing. Everyone is different, of course. Not a fan of the wheels, I must admit. I think I just preferred those nice caps on the lower models, but there we go. We've also lost the chrome mirrors as well, haven't we? We've got these black affairs, and again I think I preferred the chrome mirrors, but there we go. I think they were trying to go for a more sporty feel, but I don't think we ever thought the Allegro was a sporty car, did we? So that was your Allegro range in 1976, shown here in the brochure, although you could get a separate brochure at the time showing really what essentially was the top of the range Allegro, the Van den Ploegh, although it was a bit more of a specialised type of vehicle. The inside was certainly very special indeed in this, through this love it or hate it grille on the front, which always looks a little bit peculiar in my view. But like I say, you could have gone a little bit higher in spec levels, but that's not shown in this brochure because the Van den Ploegh was a little bit of a special model in 76. But anyway, this is nice to see the rear of the Allegro, and also shows you how the trim levels were different from the rear and how it was badged, which I think is really nice. We'll start here, work our way down, and then we'll have a little bit of a talk about this rear image. So this is how the three models were badged at the rear. I always like the script actually, how they wrote Allegro. So the 1500 Super, the Special and the HL. and how they were badged, but also we can see on the Special and the HL they used a bit of a black banding, and we'll certainly have a better look at that when we look at the rear model of the HL, which is shown to the left hand side. We've also got this rather nice little diagram showing the hydrogas suspension, irons out road surface irregularities to give a smooth ride and excellent road holding. With its restyled exterior trim and badging, the Allegro is more elegant, more distinctive than ever before. And there is the rather lovely HL model showing the little reversal lights, kind of like tacked on as an afterthought, but at least they're there. We can see the banding at the back there, the black banding which the Special had as well, and we can also see this has got the vinyl roof and an actual strip rather than a stripe going down the side there. On the right hand side of this page it carries on a little bit more, even though we've looked at the model lineup, haven't we? But it's still going to continue on by saying more to admire, more to enjoy, bit of text and some images. Let's read the text. It tells us whichever 1500 or 1750 Allegro you choose, you'll enjoy a whole range of luxury and safety features. The latest hydrogas suspension units, front suspension mountings and drive shafts combine to give a silky smooth ride, even over indifferent roads, with the kind of safe, sure handling that makes every journey a pleasure. Within the more elegant body, there's more space and greater comfort than ever before for all the family. Full depth door trim, armrests, rich carpeting, vanity mirror, cigar lighter, reclining seats, velour seat facings. All these features and more add style and luxury to your daily motoring. Whether it's a local shopping expedition or a long holiday haul, for you, the driver, there are easy action column controls, servo assisted brakes, a dipping interior mirror, beautifully designed and clearly instrumentated fascia, twin horns and a 5 forward speed synchromesh gearbox with overdrive fifth to add to your driving pleasure. New Allegro 1500 and 1750. Technically superior cars with a wealth of built-in features. So really an overview reminding you that this isn't the same Allegro, this is the Allegro that's a little bit better. We got a really nice front image and a reminder that the photography is really nice in this brochure. We can see it's a lower spec model now though, no rev counter and that glaringly obvious gap where the radio should be. Fascia, the new Allegro models are colour keyed to the car's exterior colour as well as to other interior fitments. Moving down, it tells us the latest Allegro Cossets rear seat passengers with more legroom, fitted carpet, centre armrests and luxury trim. Turn the page, we get the specifications for the 1500 Super, Special and 1750 HL. Dimensions, really can't show that too well on camera, so we're going to miss that part out, but let's have a look at the specifications. I'm sure a lot of it's going to go over what we've already learnt, so I don't think I'm going to read it word for word, but certainly you can pause it at any time. So the engine for the 1500, a 4-cylinder transverse overhead valve with single overhead camshaft, 1485cc. Looks like we've got 68 bhp at 5500 revs per minute. Fuel system, we're using a mechanical fuel pump, single SU type HS6 carburetor, tank capacity 10.5 gallons, cooling system, closed pressurized system with thermostatically controlled electrically driven fan, clutch, gearbox, like I said, it's nice to see a 5-speed synchromesh gearbox at this time. It talks about the final drive going to the front wheels, Steering is rack and pinion. Safety steering column. Turning circle there is 33 foot 3. Suspension, of course, is that hydrogas unit. Brakes, we're going for a disc drum setup. Tells about the wheels and tyres, and the electrical being 12 volt 40 amp hour battery with an alternator, pre-engaged starter motor, multi-purpose lever on right hand of steering column, controls horn, headlamp, flasher, dip switch and self-cancelling direction indicators. Lever on left hand of steering column controls electric windscreen washer and 2-speed windscreen wipers with flick wipe facility. Twin horns, cigar lighter, hazard warning lamps, reversing lamps, electrically heated rear window, fresh air heater demister with air blend and 2-speed blower controls, combined ignition starter switch, incorporated steering column lock. And then it goes on to talk about the instruments and coachwork. Really, a lot of this is what we've already gone through in the brochure, so I'm not going to go through all this, but like I say, you can pause the screen to read it all yourself. It does have interesting things like saying a 4-door saloon style body of all steel unitary construction with underbody protection and wax injected body sills. I don't know. I don't think they were the best at resisting rust all the same though. But certainly pause the screen now if you want to read all that. I'll move the screen down so you can read the rest of it if you are going to do that. And like I say, pause the screen now to read the rest. Optional extras for the 1500 Super. Only 2 options, either metallic paint or automatic transmission, or of course both if you want. Moving up to the 1500 Special now. And rather nicely this time it does say as described for the 1500 Super model with the following variations, because obviously the engine is going to be the same. Engine as described for the 1500 Super model with the following additions. So we get extras of twin rectangular fog lamps and boot lamp. Instruments the same as the 1500 Super model with the following additions. We get a clock, so it's nice to actually see what you get extra, so I'm glad at least they did that on this way. I guess the reason why in the brochure itself they didn't do that, because if they just put additional of a clock it wouldn't seem quite so special, would it? So coachwork as described for 1500 Super model with the following variations: head restraints, padded and trimmed rear parcel shelf, floor mounted console, aluminium tread strips, twin bright exterior mirrors, matte black boot panel, carpeting boot, vinyl covered roof, stitched handbrake gaiter, triple coach line, wheel trims, options the same, metallic paint and automatic transmission. Moving up to the 1750, so this is what it's got different to the Special. Obviously we've got a different engine, so it talks about that here. So 4-cylinder transverse overhead valve with single overhead camshaft, 1748cc engine, which I always thought was a nice size engine actually to put into an Allegro, particularly if you wanted to pull a small caravan or something. BHP 90 at 5500 revs per minute, and then the fuel system, a mechanical fuel pump and twin SU type HS6 carburetor, and tank capacity is 10.5 gallons. We saw the wheels were slightly different, so it mentions that here, so a pressed steel styled wheel. It would have been nice to see an alloy wheel, but I guess that's pushing it a bit for in mid-70s. Electrical as described for the 1500 Super model with the following variations. So we've got a 12 volt 50 amp hour battery this time, twin rectangular fog lamps and a boot lamp. Instruments as described for the 1500 Super model with the additionals of a clock, and you do actually get a tachometer or rev counter here now as well. Coachwork above the base model, so we've got head restraints, padded and trimmed rear parcel shelf, floor mounted console, aluminium tread strips, twin black exterior mirrors, matte black boot panel, carpeting boot, vinyl covered roof, stitched handbrake gaiter, tinted window glass, which is nice, and body side mouldings. Extras now are just 2, metallic paint, or you can option it to have laminated windscreen. And it just says there, export market. This specification of this model is correct for the UK market at data printing. Export specifications may differ to suit conditions and regulations of overseas territories. Please check details with your dealer. Back page is actually quite a nice back page, talking about Supercover, that very much Leyland Cars, British Leyland type thing of talking about, your service and recovery that goes with the car. So we've got some rather nice little graphics there, talking about free 24-hour on the spot roadside assistance. You get free get you there relay recovery service. No limit to mileage for the first year warranty. And then a new 69-point check-out service free before any car goes on the road. So nice little graphics there, if nothing else. And like I say, that little Supercover little logo that they had. The blue part there is the typical brochure thing, we can change things at any time, the legal stuff. And then Leyland Cars, British Leyland Limited, Longbridge, Birmingham. And then that little note that we saw at the bottom there, so lithographed by the Newfield Press Limited, Cowley, Oxford, England, 2644, and in brackets 89820, and then the 176 meaning January 1976. I think there's also a little bit of a publication number on this one as well, being 3162-A. So there we go, this delightful Austin Allegro 2 brochure for 1976. I really like this one purely because of the photography, and also I've got a little bit of a soft spot for the Allegro, I must admit, along with the Marina, because they got such a hard time by the public later on who probably never owned one. They're not bad cars really, are they? Let's face it. But any memories with the Allegro, please do jot in the comments. Always love to hear about those. But we'll end the same way we do most times, by saying please do consider subscribing. It's completely free. There's no reason why not to subscribe. It keeps you in touch with the channel, and obviously if you're at this stage of the episode, you must have enjoyed it, even if it was just a little bit. But appreciate all those loyal followers, loyal subscribers, and of course a big shout out to our members who pay a small fee every month and are always there commenting and championing, is that a word, or supporting the channel. Can't say any more. And of course, have a look yourself if you want to become a member. It's not a very high fee. We're not offering too much at the moment, but certainly when we get more members, we certainly will do. But thank you so much to everybody who has watched. Please don't forget to leave a like. Please do take care. Oh, I mustn't forget, you'll probably see some boxes by this stage there for other episodes you might want to watch, so click on those if you want to continue viewing. But thank you so much for watching. Please do take care. All the best, and goodbye.